Colonel John Green chapter of the Kentucky Society, the National Society of the Daughters of the American
I saw an
Revolution.
interesting, fascinating poll yesterday on Catholics. Fascinating poll. I couldn't wait to ask you about it.
Is this going to offend me?
No, I don't think so. No, I think it speaks to a lot of what I've been saying for the past year in regards to the election. But Trump is getting killed among Catholics this year. Catholic Republicans are not voting for Trump. I was wondering what your thoughts on that were, and what you think the reason behind that is, because they are evangelicals who will tell you that they are, very, very holy, and that's, if we put our faith first. Catholics get mocked quite frequently for their faith. Oh, you just go in on Tuesday and everything's forgiven.
You worship idols.
Do whatever.
You worship
and
idols.
all this false idols and all this and all that. But I think it's very fascinating that when it comes down to common decency, which this election is basically a referendum on, you see Catholics breaking away from the Republican Party like, I can't do this. In the polling, I've seen several polls like this where Catholics are not voting for Trump, and Hispanics has a very, very little to do with it. There's a thing in the story where it's not just Hispanics that are breaking away with Trump; it's all Catholics.
Obviously, a lot of Hispanics in the Roman Catholic Church.
I was wondering what you thought about that, especially being Catholic in the South, because I hear a lot of that crap. Oh, false idols. Oh, you just get forgiven. Oh, that's not a real religion.
I'm going to say, and of course, I think it's the one true church, but I am a Catholic. But anyway, I'm going to say
that's why I'm asking. Yeah, I've left the church.
Yeah, I'm going to say that one problem that I would believe that my Catholic brothers and sisters would have with Mr. Trump is the extraordinary amount of times that he's been married. Catholics take marriage very seriously. And they take that very seriously. My marriage could not be recognized to my present wife until I had my first one annulled. And that was quite a process. I had to make a formal application to the diocesan court, if you will. It's not called a court, but that's what it is.
Equivalent.
No, my parents went through the same thing, and people in the Catholic Church used to say in front of me, Fletcher, I didn't know what it meant when I was 4, but that I came from a broken home.
Right.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, so I would think that there are some, well, first of all, the Pope is not a big fan of Trump by his dialogue.
Oh, and he's insulted the Pope, too.
I don't think that he has attempted to interject himself into this process. Like, there has been no...
Nor really should
there has been, no, he shouldn't. But there hasn't been any official papal edict that you are to not vote for Trump or vote for Trump.
Yeah, no.
And the Pope will not do that. And the Pope softened some of his commentary about Trump early on because he didn't want to make it appear, I would assume, he didn't want to make it appear that he was trying to affect the election process. The Russians don't have the same predilection against affecting the process. But anyway, the Pope doesn't want to do that. But I think the Catholic, some of the commentary that Donald Trump is engaged in about Hispanics. There are a large number of Hispanics in the Catholic Church, and I think absolutely what his life experiences tells the casual observer about his attitudes towards fidelity, his own comments about infidelity, and how he is engaged in it.
Well, let me ask you this: are most Catholics pro-immigration? Because I was reading an article how most Mormons are actually pro-immigration, and that's why Trump's doing so poorly there, in addition to the 3 wives and all that stuff. But
I think most Catholics, now this may
because
not,
that's hurt
this may not be true of Saints Peter and Paul in Hopkinsville, which is my parish. But I think most Catholics.
I'm asking you to use a very broad and general brush, which
broadly and generally, yes, Catholics believe that America is the place the melting pot. Where you come, bring us your wretched, your poor.
Well, some Catholics kind of ran here. They kind of had to run here.
You're yearning to be free, and we shall make them Americans. You're getting the long version back after these messages.
A home is one of the biggest investments you can make. One of the best ways to start your house hunting is to contact a home loan pro you can trust. The 2015 Reader's Choice favorite banker, Matt McWhirter of F&M Mortgage. Call Matt McWhirter at 931-906-0006 or stop by the F&M office in Sango. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
When Clarksville wants to hear what's going on,
One of the big issues that our state, really that our nation is facing is infrastructure, and it's transportation infrastructure. You know, there was something a couple of weeks ago that came out of Nashville from the Regional Transit Alliance, about $6 billion in potential upgrades to our transportation infrastructure, and that included light rail and some of those type things. But I really think our state legislature realizes that Tennessee Department of Transportation has this big backlog of projects, and they've got to do something about it.
they hear it on WJZM Radio.
There is a name in the Clarksville community we have come to associate with excellence in legal services. That name is Kimberly Turner and Associates, the attorneys who care. There are times in life when reliance on attorneys who care is particularly critical. Family strife is definitely among those times, whether it be divorce, child custody, juvenile delinquent petitions, alimony or child support increases, or any type of strife which invades our personal lives. Kim Turner and Associates are the attorneys who care. Call Kim today at 572-1134 or get an appointment. Perhaps you just stop by her place located at 130 Franklin Street next to the Black Horse. That's 572-1134. Kimberly Turner and Associates are the attorneys who care.
Since 1941, serving the public interest. WJZM Radio, Clarksville, Tennessee.
And that is Michael Sweet's debut. Well, he's been single before.
He's had several solo projects.
Several, yeah, but this is his most recent solo project.
And most successful, I believe.
Yeah,
of his solo project.
It's #1 rated hard rock album in the land, according to Billboard magazine, for those of you that consider that to be an authority, which I certainly do.
The Bible.
Michael Sweet. What's the name of that? War on...
One-Sided War.
One-Sided War, yeah. One-Sided War. What was interesting about Stryper, Cliff, which you would have found interesting, Stryper was a hard rock Christian band, the first one to cross over into mainstream hard rock. So you know that they were real popular at conventions and stuff with all the satanic hard rock bands going, hey, here comes the group named after a Bible verse talking about his stripes, and stuff, which is why it was named Stryper. But anyway.
Oh, I was thinking of White Stripes.
Yeah, no,
Is that... Okay.
That's
so I've never heard of.
Anyway, we were talking about the Catholic, attitude about immigration, and I think the Catholic attitude is in keeping with what has historically been the American attitude. That the Statue of Liberty was.
It doesn't say "give us your best."
Sculpted as a symbol of immigration. It was a symbol of hope to outcast and downtrodden, which is why it was the poem, the words that appear on the Statue of Liberty from a poem entitled "The New Colossus" is what I think the name of the title of the poem is. It says, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door."
Does it say in parentheses, unless they're Syrian?
No.
No, it doesn't.
Unless
Are you
they're
sure? Can you
murderers. Just send the good. I'm looking right now.
Run those numbers again, please.
I just
Crunch
don't
those
see
numbers.
It. I think that there's so many Catholics that did immigrate here, and I think that some of that. But I think I don't want to downplay this marriage thing with Catholics, because that's a pretty big deal.
And it remains to be to this day, even as the divorce rate is at an all-time high in the Catholic Church, it's still lower than most others.
Well,
Which I find interesting.
getting a divorce in the Catholic Church does not make one popular.
No,
That is not,
they in front of your children, they say that you live in a broken home, repeatedly.
They will not. Yeah, they're not big on that. And
I had to go back to that church. Tell you what.
break this. But anyway, you know, Catholics a Catholic's faith is very important to them. That's why I was there were an inordinate, not inordinate, whatever that is. There were an inordinate. Yeah, it's Mal. I'm
Very 2016
I'm Ogden Nash. You know, all of a sudden I've turned into Ogden Nash. There were an inordinate number of Catholic candidates in the Republican and even the Democratic primary season. A lot of Catholics, and of course, when they were, I remember one. I don't remember whom it was. I think he was married to a Catholic. I think his wife was more Catholic than he. But he started criticizing some of the Pope's commentary, and I think the wife cracked that whip on him, and he backed off.
That was it.
He backed. Who was the candidate that did that? I think it was the boy from Texas, wasn't it? Not Cruz. It was.
You mean Perry?
Perry. I think it was Rick Perry. It might have been, or I don't remember who it was, but I remember the scenario, and the scenario was the Pope had made some.
It was Rick Santorum.
Was it Santorum? Yeah. He had come out and taken immediate issue with something the Pope had said about American capitalism.
He said he wasn't credible in his opinion because the Pope acknowledged that man is changing the climate. He acknowledged man-made climate.
That's what it was. The Pope came out and said there's such a thing.
Pope, yes, and said leave the science to the scientists.
And his wife, and then he
said the Pope was not credible.
And then
you don't call the Pope not credible.
Not as a Catholic. That's Christ's emissary on earth in the Catholic denomination. So, but notice I didn't say he's not Christ. So I don't.
Yes.
That's today's theological moment, brought to you by Meeks and Meeks Attorneys, who incidentally they are Catholic.
Everything's sponsored.
That's right. We sponsor everything. But
I like your marketing is getting much better. I like it.
I'm trying. I'm trying hard. You can become a warrior for justice by going to longversion4j.com and hit the join us button with PayPal. It's $100 a year. You can donate at any level because there's a donate button right there, or you can send a check if you wish to the Long Version Post Office Box 648, Clarksville, Tennessee 37040. There is a story out here on the internet about, is the Miss America pageant relevant or offensive? Well, your thoughts. I think it's always kind of been a parade of beautiful. It's a beautiful cattle parade, isn't it? I mean, it's kind of.
My thing with the Miss America pageant, the Miss Teen USA, all those pageants, like those women sign up for them. Like, it doesn't offend me at all. Now, it doesn't offend me. If we're grabbing women off the streets, throwing them in a changing room, slapping them in a bikini, and putting them on national television in front of, millions of people, then yes, that's offensive to me. But if women sign up to show off their bodies and talk about themselves to win a prize on television, I'm not going to watch because I think it's irrelevant, but I don't in any way find it offensive. Now, can it maybe objectify women in some ways? Probably, you could make that argument.
From the demeaning swimsuit competition to the fact that nearly half of this year's contestants had blonde hair.
Fletcher, do we have a right?
Very low percentage of women of color.
Do we have?
In the contest?
Well, they're signing up themselves. I mean, they're signing themselves up to compete. So
they had their first openly lesbian competitor.
Yeah.
They had one woman who had short hair, not the same woman. I want to make sure. And they crowned Miss Arkansas, Savvy Shields, as Miss America.
Was she there on a date with her brother? Okay.
She's a blonde-hair, blue-eyed Miss America.
I'm sure most of them are.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't find it offensive. And if you want to say that... I don't. These women are signing up and doing it themselves, and you don't have to watch. Just like you don't, if you find something offensive on television, you don't have to watch.
I will say this: they have really changed the swimsuit competition. Now they come out in their swimsuit, but they kind of have something draped around their waist that is more skirtish.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they are trying to meat market, if you will.
We're making up all sorts of new words today.
I know. I'm at a loss.
They're trying to make it slightly more respectable. Yeah, I know. Close your mouth and stop staring at girls in bikinis, and maybe you won't be at a loss anymore.
That's what it is I'm sitting here. And she's a very attractive young lady, and she won a $50,000 scholarship for this.
Oh, in addition to, like, the prizes they get like, cars, they get, like, trips all over the world.
I think they get an apartment or something.
And they travel for a year as well.
Everywhere they get to go.
Didn't they win, like, a year with Trump at one time?
I'm sure.
Isn't
I'm
that
sure.
right? I know they got an apartment or something like that.
As his personal assistant.
Yeah, right.
Yes. I dropped the tape on the ground, Miss Johnson.
Again.
My hands are shaky this morning.
Yeah.
I think some of the rules are crazy. I think you're supposed to be a virgin or something, and you can't ever been married. But again, I mean, those are those rules. And if they want to have them, they can have them. If women want to go do that, they can go do that.
There's a virgin rule?
Is it Miss Teen or Miss America? I think there's absolutely a virgin rule. Yeah. Because I know the crown's been taken away for.
Do they check them all out before they let them in?
You know what does offend me is the purity dances. Now those offend me because it's beyond creepy, and it's beyond the pale in several ways.
I've got to tell this. I've got to tell this.
Now that's creepy. The pageant that somebody signs up for.
Cliff is always bringing up something that if I join in is going to make me very less popular. But I am going to say that I was invited to a purity ball to double date. My daughter and I were going to double date with a friend of mine and his daughter.
Was it Donald Trump and his daughter?
And I said,
were you going on a double date?
I said, what is the purity ball? And he said, well, you know, you dress up and your daughter dresses up and she pledges her virginity to you until she gets married and you give her like a ring or something. And I said, look, man,
I've got girls.
I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but you're going to have to go to this alone because I really don't want my daughter pledging anything that has to do with her virginity to me.
Can we rewind a little bit?
I'm going to, what?
What does that ring look like, and what finger do they put it on? I want to be on the lookout for this ring when I'm out and about.
I think you'll see a ring, and it won't be on the marriage finger, but it might be.
Don't they wear it around their neck?
I really stopped trying to find out anything about it because my interest. Let me tell you this.
Doesn't go around the neck.
I have no
Johnny,
illusions.
the chastity belt goes around the waist.
I have no illusions.
Doesn't do any good up here.
That my daughter will never know a man. In fact, I hope to have grandkids one day, so I kind of hope she knows a man sometime, and she has a rewarding and loving relationship, and he loves her and treasures her. I hope all those things for her. But I don't want, her sexuality is not a topic for me. That is a go talk to your mother topic.
Yeah.
You know, you want to talk about, sexuality. That's you've got a mother. Y'all need to go talk about that. I don't want to have anything to do with that.
It's so weird.
I've got a 12-year-old daughter now.
I can't believe
and what scares me is that, Sarah Catherine has never really made lewd comments. She's one of those girls that if you ever said anything the least bit lewd around her, like not me, but if somebody had said something, she was kind of offended by it. Caroline finds something dirty in everything that comes out of your mouth and then calls you a pervert.
That's trouble. She's projecting.
Yes, she is. And so Caroline is one of these ones where you're like, holy cow, am I in for it now?
You're going to have a few more gray hairs before she's done.
Lord. That child has got...
I can see it coming.
Where did she get this mind? I can only blame my wife.
Yeah, as Johnny and I think my eyes just rolled all the way to the back of my head.
They did.
I can't see now. I'm staring at the back of my own head.
Well, Sarah Catherine was never this way. I mean, whatever Sarah Catherine has done in her life, she's been quiet about it, and she doesn't say anything to Dad about it.
Well, the oldest always has to be like that.
Yeah, she might sneak
That's how
around.
I was, too.
I don't know. No telling. But I was
a golden child in front of my parents.
But I'm going to tell you, Caroline Elizabeth Beckman Long is a whole nother matter. And
what in the hell? How many names does she have?
She's got a lot of names.
Yeah. How many?
Caroline
Are you sure she's not Hispanic?
Beckman Long.
What?
If she were, I would never ever admit it because I'd be afraid that they would put her in a internment camp and send her somewhere.
That's true.
Anyway, somebody is claiming that they can reveal Donald Trump's true net worth. which I am so unconcerned. I do not care what Donald Trump's net worth is, and I would say that it's really no one's business, but, he's kind of made it a campaign.
I'm exactly with you. I don't think a president's net worth should have anything to do with whether they can be president or not. We've gone over that on this show 5,000 times. However, he keeps making it a staple of his campaign.
Well, yeah,
and why he should be president.
It's become, this is why I should be president, because I'm
Fletch,
successful and I'm worth whatever.
The one guy, the founder of, I believe it's LinkedIn, offered $5 million cash to any veterans charity of Trump's choice if he will release his tax returns.
Well, George Lucas is worth $5.1 billion. It would be hard for me to believe that Donald Trump is worth twice what George Lucas is worth.
Yeah.
I mean, even though he claims that.
So who is this gentleman or lady?
Well, this is Upbeat magazine.
This is one of those
that
click through
not a
ads,
credible source.
No, I don't know. But anyway, I mean, like, for
PC will
instance,
freeze up.
For instance, they're saying right now that Diane Merrill's worth billions of dollars, and I don't know, or Dina Merrill, and I'm not sure who that is.
No clue.
She was in 22 films and was married 3 times. She's 92 years old, and she's worth $5 billion.
Well, if you hang around this earth long enough,
for her.
you'll be.
Yeah.
She married well.
She was an American heir. No, she was a socialite, philanthropist, and American heiress. Okay? Let me interpret that for you. Okay? Socialite, philanthropist, and American heiress means she's never hit a lick with a stick in her life. I mean, she was born rich and she stayed rich her entire life. That's one of those people. That's one of the 83% of people that the number one determining factor of their future profitability was how rich their parents were.
Inheritance.
Listen, how do you get the job? Because I'd like to apply for American heiress, philanthropist, and what was the other one?
A socialite?
Socialite.
Anytime it says socialite by the name, it's somebody who married rich. Yeah. Whether it's a man or a female, they don't work and they married rich.
Yes, I'd like to meet the homeless socialite. I've never seen the homeless socialite.
Nope, never met one either.
So anyway, So what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to believe that Diane Merrill is a whopping success and way smarter than I because she's worth billions of dollars? Because she inherited and married it?
Yeah.
Because that's is that what I'm supposed to believe? Is that what that means?
She used her mind and her body.
Yeah, well, and she
gather wealth.
Whatever. The movie Fearsville 2 is going to play at the Martin Theater. Well, it's not. It's called the Western Kentucky Cinemas now.
The old Martin Theater.
But I will always think of the Western Kentucky theaters will always be the Martin 5.
Well,
to me.
That church down on Riverside, I think of that place as still being the Martin
What
Theater.
the hell are you two talking about?
So.
Well, my daughter's in the horror movie. Caroline is in the horror movie. She wanted a love scene, but she didn't get one.
She's in a movie?
She's in a movie, yeah. She's in the movie, and she's got a speaking role. You didn't know this?
No, nobody tells me anything.
Well, it's on Facebook. Don't you follow me on Facebook?
I get on Facebook to write controversial things, and I get off.
Did you just get sick of all my commentary and said, to hell with this?
No, I don't really get on Facebook that much right now.
Busy Caroline for class.
Caroline is in a movie and has knocked it out of the park. But anyway, Fearsville 2 will open October 22nd in Hopkinsville at the Western Kentucky Cinemas. So all of you that are friends of the Long family, come and watch us rub our prosperity straight in your face.
Hold on a sec. Is that a... I'll go to that. Is that like a red carpet?
No, I don't think it's a red carpet. I think it just opens at that theater. I don't think it's the premiere.
So it's not the premiere?
It's our premiere.
Can we get it? I'll go. If we can get a red carpet, I'll go.
Uncle Cliff, I'll buy your ticket.
I'm there.
You can see this.
I'm there. I don't need you to buy my ticket. I just want a red carpet. I'll go rent the tux.
We're gonna go to our last break and come back and sum up the long version.
WJZM Radio, Clarksville, Tennessee.
Many people simply believe they will never get in trouble with the law or need a lawyer. Whether it's the sobering event beginning with blue lights in the rear view and ending with an arrest for DUI, being charged with a crime, or some unfortunate episode has occurred, the law office of Lynn Morton realizes you may not have planned on needing an attorney. Going to court without a professional qualified lawyer will result in disastrous consequences or an outcome in your case that causes havoc in your life for years. You need representation by a lawyer who not only has specialized knowledge, but who truly understands the anxiety, confusion, and devastation faced by someone facing criminal accusations or dealing with an array of other legal problems. Having an experienced, committed advocate like Lynn Morton on your side can make all the difference in your case. With support and guidance, you will have the ability to face your legal situation with confidence that can only come from knowing your case is in capable, dependable hands. Lynn Morton is dedicated to safeguarding her clients' rights and providing them with the attention and consideration their case and future deserve. For these most bitter moments, Lynn Morton can step forward to lend a helping hand and guide you through every aspect. Call Lynn Morton in your most trying time of need, 931-906-0000. A lot of real estate is bought and sold in Clarksville, and all of it has to be inspected, and it has to be done right. It's your largest investment of your life. Do you want to leave its inspection to someone who isn't the best? Of course not. 931-980-5759 gets you the best inspection services. Call Bud Wink at 931-980-5759 to get the home you are buying or selling inspected by the best inspection services. That's 931-980-5759. The best inspection services, changing the quality of home inspections one house at a time. Keller Williams affiliate broker Jackie Harker knows a family's most valuable asset, whether buying or selling, is the home. Jackie Harker with Keller Williams Realty in Clarksville, Tennessee, would tell you her most important investment is in you. Whether buying or selling a mansion or a starter, the smart money is placed with Harker. Keller Williams' Jackie Harker will work tirelessly to make sure your buying or selling experience will be pleasant and your expectations will be exceeded. Call Keller Williams' Jackie Harker at 931-801-3946 today for all your home buying or selling needs. That's 931-801-3946. And remember, whether buying or selling a mansion or a starter, the smart money is placed with Harker. 931-801-3946. Jackie Harker. Call her today.
Since 1941, serving the public interest. WJZM Radio, Clarksville, Tennessee.
I don't want to hear about it anymore. It's a shame I've got to live without you anymore. There's a fire in my heart, a pounding in my brains, driving me crazy. We don't need to talk about it anymore. Yesterday is just a memory. Can we close the door?
You're getting the long version, and we're having fun today, notwithstanding the fact we got stiffed by our guest.
That's okay. We made the most of it.
Yes.
Whom we agreed to every single one of her conditions, that we would keep her identity.
Maybe she talked to that other person that accidentally.
Yeah, you can't trust them. They'll flip the camera. I hate to go off on this girl again, but the catfish that came on, the one that is.
You mean
on,
the one with whiskers or the mustache?
the one on the one that is some sort.
Oh,
I mean, I'm not going to call her a radio personality because she's not on any radio show. I mean, she's on some sort of a internet show of some nature. But she's now been nominated, and this is going to sound like this is going to sound like that I'm bitter, and I'm really not. But she's been nominated for Radio Personality of the Year in some sort of a publication in Nashville that I'm unfamiliar with. But what's interesting to me is
it the homeless paper?
I don't know what it is, but this is going to sound sour grapes, John Michaels, so I'm going to say that right off the bat. But she's been nominated for the Radio Personality of the Year, and I wonder what is there. And here's what bothers me: I somehow think that she gets all of these awards because the persona that she's adopted and misappropriated is someone who is super freaking hot. So she gets to be kind of unattractive and benefit from being exceedingly attractive because she represents herself as being someone she isn't.
Well,
it'd be like if I get nominated for Radio Personality of the Year
and you
because
put up a poster of Raymond Burr
because everybody thinks I look like Brad Pitt.
Perry freaking Mason, really?
How have I really, achieved much of anything at all?
Nothing. And Michelina brought up an excellent point to me, which I didn't think of. And as guys, I guess, the three of us didn't. But I talked to her about it that day after we got home from the show. And she said, well, who's the girl whose picture she stole? Who's this poor girl whose picture she's stolen off the internet and are passing off as her? Like, who is this girl who took these pictures of herself? And this is a form of identity theft.
It is. And it's
disgusting.
And let me tell you, when we accidentally got her on camera, her entire organization, and I'm going to say
all three of them.
And if they're listening, threatening, thinking lawsuit or anything, I haven't given your name, but I can. Okay? Yeah. I can do a whole week on you if I want to, so, tread lightly. But anyway, when we inadvertently
got her, you don't want that.
When we got her image on camera on this Ustream, they freaked the freak out, didn't they?
Yeah, I have deleted the video.
I mean, I bet you that I had no less than 3 hours of conference calls over the fact. So this organization that she reps.
Why are we responsible for covering up somebody's lie?
This organization, we're not. This organization that she reps, Cliff, is well aware that she is catfishing America. They are well aware of it. I mean, I would have wondered, I thought they were another victim. Didn't I mean, I thought, well,
you thought they didn't know?
Maybe they don't know. Maybe they think she really looks as if she, it maybe looks as she appears on social media.
And I want to make it clear, we're not knocking anybody because of the way they look or don't look.
No.
Just the whole situation, and it shouldn't matter.
I'm not very good looking.
That's why we're in radio.
But I haven't,
if we were models, we'd be models.
Right. I mean, my image that I perpetuate over the social media sites, that's I. I mean, I am that guy. Sure, I got one photograph that might have been airbrushed a touch, but I am the person. I'm the person depicted.
Yeah.
You post stuff from your everyday life on all your accounts.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's no doubt about it.
We should start taking all our pictures from the back of our heads or something, So.
Well, see, and let me say
it's my best side.
I want to say this: John Michaels has taken a dim view of this, much dimmer than even I. Really. And John Michaels went and unfriended her over it on social media. He's not even.
Well, it was over a couple other comments that was made.
Well, and she made a comment when I interviewed her. I've had her on twice, and she made a comment when I interviewed her that I didn't hear. And if I can only tell you, and I have no reason to doubt what John Michaels said her comment was, but. John was playing an artist who
I was going to.
All right, and
I asked
because I don't want to have an inside joke from you guys, so I'm going to tell you what this is. You were going to play an artist that had formerly been repped by them, and remember, this was the woman who, when I asked her what they actually provided an artist, she really couldn't answer the question. Remember that?
That was so shocking. That was
you were there. You were here, weren't you?
That was an Aleppo moment. Yes. Yeah. She was like,
I mean, she couldn't even really. And then she tried to turn the question on me and go, well, what do you provided? I went right into it.
We're an opinion-based show that provides opinions and insight.
I had no trouble answering the question. She couldn't answer the question at all. So, and they don't charge these artists any money, so I guess who's harmed. But anyway, According to her, they don't. So, but John was going to play an artist that had formerly been repped by them prior to their conversion. They have converted over.
Split.
And
Converted to Judaism?
No, they're still the same network, but they've changed leadership.
Owners.
So anyway, John was going to play somebody that apparently split with them under bad terms. And what did she say exactly?
I can't repeat it.
Well, it was to the gist of,
It was-
don't you play that on my show.
Yeah. With a couple other words thrown in.
I'm going to tell you.
Did I miss it? I was sitting here.
I'm just going to tell you.
I think you had your
I
headphones
didn't hear it. Well, if you had your headphones on, you didn't hear it for the same reason I didn't hear it.
No, I didn't hear
I
it.
was talking to y'all were sitting there.
If I'd have
No, I believe you, Johnny. Guests don't realize that, though. When we're sitting here with headphones on, we're getting ready to come back from break. They'll talk to us a lot
It
of
was right
times.
before coming
I
back
can't
from a
hear
break.
a word that they're saying. Yeah, because these headphones.
if I had heard that,
That would have been a great 15 minutes of radio.
That would have been an ugly moment for that entire network. That would not have been good. But I'm going to tell you, I am impressed with that network's graphics guy. That graphics guy does a good job with like internet posters and stuff. I am impressed with him. And they have a DJ on that network who I think uses his real picture, of whom I am friends, of whom I am I am fond of him.
I'm friends with him as well.
Have you ever
still.
thought to ask him if he's ever seen the real?
No, I don't get into that.
You've never asked him that?
No.
I bet you he may not even know.
I wonder if she's behind a curtain at company meetings like Oz.
Maybe.
Like the all-knowing Oz.
I am the great and wonderful.
Pay no attention to me.
I can tell you this: if she wins Radio Personality of the Year by this Nashville publication of
You are
which
hurt
I
by
had never
this.
heard-
I can tell you are
No,
hurt
no,
by
no,
this.
no. You're not giving me a chance to finish. I will be at that award ceremony. I want to see
She will.
if she will walk up there and take this award.
Accepting the award for blank will be
Is a hot girl whose image she's been using.
Crazy. It's
one thing to trade on your looks. It's another thing to trade on looks you don't even have.
somebody else's looks.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, Michelina brings up a good point that I've never even thought of.
Because we're guys, and we didn't think of that.
Whose picture is that?
And does that girl
Can
know?
someone find out who
We tried.
Can we contact
She looked.
Catfish the show? That would be hilarious. Can we John, can you contact Catfish? Because she catfished
I don't
us.
think that show's
well,
on
she
anymore.
she really didn't
I don't
catfish me
either.
because I know
That
what
was back in the
I know what she
90s.
looks like. So I can't claim to be catfished. Catfishing, for those of you who don't know, is sometimes unattractive people will reach out to people that they don't have the courage to talk to otherwise, and will adopt or steal identities or appearances that aren't theirs and pose as this person.
Sometimes for years.
yeah.
Like, and they think they're dating.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For instance, let's say that you have been talking. This is catfish. This is an example of catfishing. Let's say that you have been talking to this super good-looking swimsuit model from Pompano Beach, Florida, for a couple of years, back and forth, flirting over the internet, and you find out that she weighs 450 pounds and is and needs a crane.
5 packs of cigarettes a day.
Needs a crane. Needs a crane to take a bath. and
She's a
she-
moo-moo model.
and she's been sending you pictures that you've been using for many nefarious reasons or whatever, and then you find out that this person that you think you're having some sort of relationship with is not the person that's depicted. Now, there was a famous. Now, I used to watch Catfish because they would bust these people. Is what they would do. They would find out whose image they'd use.
Yeah, and that's the funny part.
It was a great show.
Kind of like cheaters. Oh.
Yes.
It was a great show.
Another classy show I love.
I used to watch Catfish, and I don't know if they do anymore, but they got a rapper.
think it's off air.
They got a rapper one time. This guy was like a famous rapper. I mean, he was like 50 Cent or something like that. And
40.
he was
40 cent.
43 cents.
49.
But this guy thought he was having this, and he's like, I'm a celebrity, and you would think, the kind of girls that I meet all the time are not really necessarily the kind of girls I want to meet, and, he thought he was having this real relationship with this girl.
I thought she was the one.
And this girl's name was Blank, and she's on the Blank Network. No, I'm kidding. And incidentally, I have found out that girl is getting married, and the person she's marrying does know the real her,
okay.
because they came in studio together.
Yes.
I don't know if this was the first day he ever met her. I'm kidding. And he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
I like him, and I don't dislike this person. And I just want to say that. I don't dislike this person. I do not approve of what she's doing. And it seems to, and what I really can't believe is that this entire network supports her in this, John. They help her perpetuate this falsehood.
That they do.
They don't just support her in it. They aid and assist her in what amounts to the perpetuation of a fraud. And they know full well, because if you ever try to show her real identity on your Ustream camera, they go freaking nuts.
Yes.
I mean, it was kind of threatening, wasn't it?
It
I mean,
was.
I'm calling John Michaels up going, man, you got to take that video down, because I cannot live this way. I mean, they're making
Delete.
they're making kind of veiled threats. And I guess I was shocked. Not that I've never been threatened before, because I've lived my life under a constant unveiled threat, but I was shocked that I was learning for the first time that these guys were well aware of what they were really doing. I guess I wanted to believe
It was not all in fun.
that maybe they were a victim too. Maybe I wanted to believe that the only person doing this was this one woman, and that everybody else was not in on it and just were unwittingly participating in the ruse. And I learned that day, Cliff, that they all knew it well, and they were the rusers.
Yeah, they're okay with that.
They were the rusers. Anyway, Cliff, thank you so much for coming in today. I think we've had a great show, and we really had to wing the whole 2 hours because the guest we were supposed to have was a no-show.
Yes.
She was a chicken wing.
Yes. Just for all of you future guests, we plan things, and when you poop on our plans, we have to come in here and talk about pulp culture stories for 2 hours.
Which doesn't mean it's unlistenable.
No, we had a great show.
It's entertaining.
It just means
anyway.
that we're versatile and adaptable.
That's right.
That shows for anybody contemplating carrying the long version, that's how immensely talented we really are.
It's how we roll, really. And it's
That's
nothing we can teach. It's a way of life. A lot of clean living.
Yeah, that's right. You either can do this or you can't. For John Michaels, Cliff Ritter, Fletcher Long, all of us here at the Long Version, we're out.
Killer, aka Fletcher Long. When it comes to the law, I know my rights and when they're wrong. When it comes to going to court, I tell my lawyer to poke on. Cause we and the judges, we don't get along. They always try to hit me with 1129 and some court costs and fines and some charges that ain't mine. They always try to say don't do the crime if you can't do the time, but I just don't have the time even when
A home is one of the biggest investments you can make. One of the best ways to start your house hunting is to contact a home loan pro you can trust. The 2015 Reader's Choice favorite banker, Matt McWhirter of F&M Mortgage. Call Matt McWhirter at 931-906-0006 or stop by the F&M office in Sango. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. There is a name in the Clarksville community we have come to associate with excellence in legal services. That name is Kimberly Turner and Associates, the attorneys who care. There are times in life when reliance on attorneys who care is particularly critical. Family strife is definitely among those times, whether it be divorce, child custody, juvenile delinquent petitions, alimony or child support increases, or any type of strife.